Hey everyone, we're welcoming the incredible DJ Danny Rampling, who is one of our guest interviews for the online Ibiza Burlesque Festival. How are you, Danny?
I'm good, Sapphira. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, excellent. You haven't got the tropical pseudo backdrop that I have. You look like you're in a very sensible recording studio today.
I do apologise, yeah. boring backdrop.
I'll post you one of these ones up. They're quite fun.
Thanks.
So it's an honor to have you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I was just very much interested in hearing a bit about your history, on the island of Ibiza, because it's been, 30 years or so of dance music culture. And I wondered if you could describe a bit about the early days of the scene in Ibiza.
The early days in the scene in Ibiza, on my own personal journey.
Yeah.
Freedom, fun, individualism, music revolution, change, positivity, sexiness, all of it combined in Ibiza. Theatre, characters. It was more basic back in Ibiza then, but the energy and the excitement and the vibrancy of Ibiza, I don't think that has faded over the years, but it was being introduced to that for the first time was incredible, the same as it probably is for people who are introduced to all of that that Ibiza offers in the present. So without being too nostalgic, an incredible time and a life-changing time, and also it really paved the way for my career, my DJ career. That was the turning point for me in Amnesia in 1987. That was a real turning point and a pivotal moment in time that gave me the inspiration and influence to return to London and open my club Shoom, which was the benchmark for the acid house, Balearic, and later the rave scene in the UK. We were at the forefront of a new movement, a positive movement of change, music revolution, fashion, unity, hope, optimism. It was an incredible, unique time in history.
I've read about that time because it just caught my attention. It filtered through to some Australian news reports, people dancing around in like acid t-shirt house with the smiley face. And then as I got more into dance music, I would read about the early years of the rave scene and just think that was like unadulterated, pure kind of groundbreaking time. So I completely imagine how electrifying even it must be now remembering it.
Well, exactly. It's it's unforgettable, and those memories are eternal. But the actual smiley face symbolism from the 70s, from the Watchmen, I adopted that at Shoom, and that became the symbol for the whole scene and acid house. And this was the early representation of what Shoom was about. A happy place of freedom and joy and togetherness.
Music has that incredible ability to transcend and connect. I love that about Ibiza. I think it just has a real, universal appeal, and it's like a language we all speak, even if we don't speak the same language. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, music is a healer. It unites people. It takes people away from kind of the everyday challenges of life, and it's universal. Music speaks the same language, universal. And how would a life be without music? It's just you just could not comprehend that. And we all need to dance, and music is integral to our well-being. And I feel, with what's happening at present, I feel that music is becoming more atmospheric, melodic, also angry, and I think music will become a lot more politically. There'll be a lot more political statements in the music over the coming months with the circumstances of the present. that we are living in, and I'm already hearing that in productions, and that is a good thing. If we look at the music of the 60s and the 70s, there was a lot of activism and protest statements in that music, and I feel that we're going to hear a lot more of that in our electronic music.
Definitely, it's a great place to protest, and the stage is a great place to put rights to wrong, I think, and an audience is taken on that journey. And that is a magical thing that arts and DJs and artists bring. And so Amnesia is just my favorite dirty, dark kind of place to escape whenever I go to Ibiza, and to be there in those early years must have been phenomenal. Can you describe how you got into DJing? Like, was it something you thought to do for a living, or was it that defining time in 1987 that you went?
Well, that was the major breakthrough time. But I wanted to be a DJ from a very young age through listening to the radio that my mother used to have on in the house all the time, and being fascinated how radio was being how shows were being broadcast on the radio at a very young age. And I said to myself that I want to be on the radio at some point in my life, and it happened. And I joined pirate radio station Kiss FM in London, and I went from there over a period of years. I think I was with Kiss for 15 years plus, and then I joined BBC Radio 1, so I reached the top of the radio tree, so to speak, and I stayed with BBC Radio 1 for 7 years, and I fulfilled a lifetime ambition and dream of mine. I now have the Love Groove Dance Party, which is the long-running show which was on those aforementioned stations, which can be found on Danny Rampling Mixcloud page. And the show, I've been toying with representing the radio show. It was a very, very popular show, and that's back on Mixcloud. It's taken quite some time to actually make that decision, but having time at home and more time available is one of the positive things that has actually happened during these measures that have been imposed upon society. And I'm really enjoying putting out the radio podcast, the LGDP. As I said, it's Danny Rampling Mixcloud. You can find those shows there. Right. And it brings a lot of joy to people. I'm getting really good feedback from people, particularly when there was this lockdown thing and people were stuck really confined to home. Lots of positive messages that the show was bringing joy and positivity at a very difficult time.
I love that you use words like joy and positivity, because for me they're really big in parts of why we do all the things that we do and our fundraisers. And I don't know, I just think that the arts is a really great place for like the community, really, and we're so necessary. And well done you for your podcast. We'll put the link in the comments below this video when we post it. Do you have any suggestions then for aspiring DJs in lockdown? Is there a way people can be productive? What do you think you can be doing, seeing as clubs are sort of out of bounds right now? What is podcasting a good way to go to get your music out there?
Well, I think, right now it's so uncertain for everybody, whether you're entering into with, your ambitions to be a DJ, or you're just breaking through, or you're at the top, or you're in the middle, whatever level that you're at. It's difficult for us all right now with these restrictions placed upon venues not being open, the outlet for music, people coming together and dancing, which is great for our well-being and our immune systems and our state of mind, people's mental health. Dancing is very, very supportive of all of those aspects. But I think, podcasting is great, anyone can do a radio show now. You get yourself a podcast mic like this one, a Rode Podcaster. You don't have to buy this one, of course, but and a set of headphones, and whether you use a computer or your decks, and present a podcast and get yourself up on Mixcloud and the other platforms.
Yes.
And that that's people have a lot more time, particularly this year, listening to radio. Live streaming has become very popular, but I think the market has been flooded. I'm not comfortable with live streaming, to be honest. I like to be in front of an audience and interact and engage with that audience. I find it very difficult. I've done 3 live streams. I find very disconnected. I'm in the business of DJing, not acting.
Right.
Really. But that's just my own personal view on it. Everybody's different and everyone shares a different viewpoint. But I just find it hard with the circumstances we're in,
Yeah.
with a camera on me and, kind of pretending that I'm in a club having the time of my life.
It's a two-way relationship for performers. I was teaching dance classes on live stream for a while, and it was just sort of a surreal, like I'm talking to myself, energy. And I agree with you. We feed off each other. Like, we need everybody's energy collectively in that dynamic. And, but I do think, like, equally, I might be lucky to get 50 people to come down to a show or something in London, whereas on my phone I could possibly reach 1 million with the right tagging and like things viral.
Of course.
So, sometimes there are some benefits to technology to then aid building like a live following actually physically once we get back to it. So that's really interesting.
Oh, absolutely, there are pros and cons. There's a lot of benefits from it, but what I would say is, have faith. We will return to music. They will never take away the music. It will always be a part of our lives. This is an extraordinary, unusual set of circumstances that we're all in. Well, most of us are in, and we will return to the dance floor at some point. And
what a return it will be. I think it will be like, on turbo drive, like dance floor times. It's going to be great. So you have to share something, because we're tributing our festival to the Australian pioneer Kylie Minogue. And
right.
I thought, when you're trying to pick your spirits up, Danny, in lockdown, is there a Kylie track that you might be more inclined to wiggle to?
Well, I used to like I still do. I haven't played it for a long while. Step Back in Time. I think that's a really melodic, uplifting, early Kylie tune, produced by Stock Aitken and Waterman, who were the Tamla Motown of the UK at that time. It was a hit factory. They wrote all of Kylie's early pieces of music, and I guess that would be the one. Now you mention it, maybe I'll give it a spin this afternoon. I haven't played that for years. But it does evoke good times. It's uplifting, it's cheerful, and it's happy and positive. And, Kylie's okay. I did meet Kylie on 2 occasions as well.
Well, there you go. See, you're going to get our toes tapping. Well, it's been a pleasure to speak to you. I am going to love and leave you and say thank you so much. And thanks for your service to music, because, I don't think a lot of what we've seen and been part of would be quite where it was if it hadn't been for your input. And as a promoter, I really know how much absolute after hours behind the scenes, blood, sweat and tears goes into it. So really appreciate your support this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Sapphira, and wishing you all the best with the live virtual festival, the Burlesque Live Virtual Festival. It's a pleasure to be part of this.
Thanks so much. Bye then.
Bye.
Bye.